All for another overnighter here. This is going to be a first time for me. I have gotten a hot tent. Some of you may be questioning that because not too long ago I put out a video that was titled Hot Tents Suck. Well, in that video I explained the reason why I didn't like hot tents was when I was camping with a group of people that we would tend to gravitate to being inside of the tent instead of being out in the cold by the campfire enjoying nature. But the time when I think a cold tent will be appropriate for me is when I'm out solo backpacking and I'm not with anybody else. And it gets dark at 5 o'clock. Sitting by the campfire that long gets a little boring. So I'm going to try a hot tent. My testing ground is Afton State Park, which is only about 15 minutes away from my house. So I have my hot tent. I'm going to set it up, try it out. Even though it isn't super cold, it's going to get down probably in the 20s tonight, but not sub-zero or anything. So I'm going to try it out, make sure I got everything nailed down. So when I go out, when it's super cold, maybe a more remote area, I'll know what I'm doing. That being said, usually when I'm going to hot tent, I'm going to have a pulk. This backpack is humongous. It weighs 45 pounds. Not all because of the hot tent, just some other stuff in there. But I'm kind of embarrassed. I see people when I'm wearing this big, huge pack, I feel like saying, no, you don't understand. My gear's dialed in better than this. I can go ultra lightweight, not a humongous 45-pound pack. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Got the hot tent all set up. Now I did set up the tent at home in my backyard, and with a stove you need to burn in the stove, kind of burn those oils off. In the stovepipe you need to roll up, as you may have saw in that video, and when you roll it up, it's kind of hard to do the first time, and they give specific instructions on how to do it with the pipe at home, but then it kind of gets a little bit of a memory and it's a lot easier to roll up now. So before I have to process firewood, I've processed a lot of firewood. I'm going to kind of show you around because it may be dark when I'm done processing firewood. So this tent is the Luxe Pro Shelter Mini Peak XL. I have to give a big thank you and shout out to Jim at Thru Gear Company. So how did I get a hot tent? You know, I wanted to get a hot tent, so I reached out to my buddy Justin at It's Good in the Woods. He's a big hot tenter, and I said, I want to get a hot tent, but I don't want to pay for it. He suggested that I give Jim at Thru Gear Company a call because they just do some great work there. And they are the producer of Luxe, the distributor of Luxe in the United States now. And email him. He said, sure thing. Holy cow. Look, there's a bunch of turkeys over here. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They just keep on coming. There's like 20 of them here. Hey, it's almost Thanksgiving. You better run, because you'd be tasty. All right, So Jim at Three Ridges Gear Company, he said, sure, I'll give you a hot tent. So he sent me this hot tent. He sent me the stove. And I'm going to give it a try. So Three Ridge Gear Company is the distributor in the United States. Prior to that, there was a different distributor who didn't do a very good job, and a lot of people are kind of down on Luxe because of that distributor. Jim has been great, not just because I'm a YouTuber, but I had questions, he replied, and really good to work with. So this is the hot tent. You can see the pipe up there, put some guy lines on. It comes with an inner tent, which is basically a tent that just goes on this half of the tent inside, and it hangs on these little hooks all over. So that it isn't a different structure. It just hangs on those hooks. I didn't bring that with because it takes up a lot of room, and frankly, I don't need it. The tent doors close here. It's going to be cold enough. We've had snow. It's been below 20, so there aren't that many bugs. So I should be good. I put this tarp down. The thing is, with that inner tent, there's a nice footprint, and it also comes with, which I didn't get, it has a footprint just for one person, so I could get that and replace that tarp, which I might just do because it's only like $25. So it comes with the stove jack here. That Velcro's off, and you can just put regular tent over the top if you don't want a hot tent. So on a hot tent like this one, you can see there's these lips here that kind of go down on the bottom. When there's snow, I'll cover that in and it'll seal it up. I also have in here my cot, my sleeping pad, my old sleeping bag, which is a mummy polyfill, which I'm not crazy about a mummy bag. Got a couple pillows here. Put my backpack down. In the center here, I have a light. Right behind it there, I have a carbon monoxide detector. That's one thing you got to be careful with hot tents. If you're sealed up, you can get carbon monoxide in there. That's why they have vents like this on both sides to help get some fresh air in there. So that's the hot tent. Nice part about it being like 40 degrees out here is I can bring eggs and they'll stay cool. Don't have to worry about them freezing. Don't have to worry about them spoiling. Got some Doritos and jalapeno cheddar bratwurst. Gonna make those tonight with my Velveeta and shells. All right, enough yapping. I need to start cutting some firewood. processed most of my firewood. Got a fire going in the stove out here at a campsite for the first time. Stoked it up, got it super hot, boiled some water, made some Velveeta shells and cheese. Nothing too fancy or gourmet. This is my first time cooking on that stove, so I thought I'd just boil some water and make something simple. Tomorrow morning it'll be a little bit more extravagant. But I've learned that I don't process firewood a whole lot, and I could use a little bit more practice at that. Usually when I go out with a group, I'm the guy going out, hauling in the firewood, I'll saw it a little bit, but I don't split wood that often. And it kind of showed. It took me a little while to get my wood split. I actually missed and broke my axe. I wasn't being careful, and I nicked my thumb up a little bit with the saw. So, it's learned by mistake, but I'm all right. I have the stove just barely going just a little bit here just to keep it hot. So when I go to sleep tonight, hopefully I won't have to rebuild my fire in there. But most of the time, I'm going to be out here alone by myself in the hot tent. But tonight, my friend Rob Pelton is still coming. He's kind of a hot tent expert and has been giving me tips. So he's going to give me a few more tips while we're out here. Since we do have a group, and I feel that you need to be social, we will be building a campfire in the main campfire ring. So that means I have to process wood for 2 campfires, but typically when I hot tent, I think it'll just be for the stove there, which requires a lot more processing because the wood has to be a lot smaller. So finish eating up, build that fire. Rob will be coming soon, and we'll chill out.
Something like this, yes.
The man, the myth, the legend has arrived.
Where?
Yeah, right there. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing all right. I'm here at camp. I rolled in a little bit late. Got a really quick shelter set up to sleep tonight. It's supposed to be warm though, like 38 degrees-ish or so.
He fixed me.
He was bleeding like crazy. Like not good.
Rob and I socialized around the campfire. Finally kind of petered out. He's over camping in his tarp just over here. I can hear him snoring. I came in. It's 38 degrees outside, but since I'm in my hot tent with my new stove, I decided to fire it up. Got a good fire going here. Just relaxing. And if you're unfamiliar with hot tents, I can warm it up into here where I got to take this coat off, and it's probably I don't know, 50, 60 degrees in here now. But that fire is going to go out, so I have a 0-degree sleeping bag. It'll keep me warm after the fire goes out and it cools down in here. And then tomorrow morning, I have some wood cut up here, ready to go. So in the morning, I can roll over from my cot in my sleeping bag and get that fired up and going. And I'll cook some breakfast tomorrow morning on the stove. So I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the fire, get sleepy, go to bed. Had a good night of sleep. Woke up this morning, lit up the stove, got the tent nice and warm. It's not really that cold out, so I opened the doors, have the stove fired up here, starting to make breakfast. Chopped up the sausage, gonna fry that up, make some hot chocolate, mix some eggs in. Should be a good morning. And then you got this doofus here with me too. Hello, friend.
It's Mr. Doofus. To you?
No. Ms. I don't want to assume your gender. What is just having the meat crispy?
Yeah. Peppers, onions.
Yeah, that jalapeno sausage. I like a little kick.
All in a sesame
Eggs.
seed bun. Oh yeah, that's got some flavor, man. Not your typical Minnesota fare, where they consider ketchup spicy.
All right, bro. Good camp out.
Yeah, man.
Take care.
Good luck with the hot tenting. Try not to die.
Still got all my fingers. See ya. When I go on my normal backpacking adventures, my gear setup is really dialed in. I know exactly what to bring. I know exactly where everything is, and I don't even hardly have to think about it. But hot tent camping is something new for me. I'm not dialed in yet, but this trip really helped me discover some things that I need to do differently. So maybe some gear that I need to bring, ways I can pack differently. So with that, this trip really was a success. You know, I may have cut my thumb on the saw and broke my axe and realized I forgot to bring Band-Aids and things like that, but it really was a success. The setting up the hot tent, really, there were no surprises there since I did it in my backyard. But the repetition of doing it again will make me more efficient when I go out in colder temperatures in a more remote area where I need to set up quickly because my fingers are going to be numb. And I have the confidence to do that now. So thanks for coming on this trip. It was fun to do one last camp out for a while with my buddy Rob. Hey, if you like this video, do me a favor, subscribe, punch the bell notification. Check out Midwest Backpacker on Instagram and Facebook. Whew. I gotta get this big heavy backpack off. We'll see you on the trail.